DrGangrene Presents is made possible in part by Rick's Comic City. Greetings and welcome into Gangrene Manor. I'm your host for the evening, DrGangrene. Now tonight's galloping tale is about a horse jockey named Ronnie Watson. Now Ronnie is an up-and-coming racer who has a good life, a promising career, a beautiful girlfriend, and a best friend and fellow rider named Sam Barry. But unknown to Ronnie, he is about to take an unexpected ride, one that leads directly into the supernatural. Tonight's tale is called Front Runner.
I was only 20 years old. I was the scaredest young jockey on that Ohio wheel. Outside of Sam, there was only one person in the whole world I really cared about. It was a girl named Rita. I thought she was quite a girl. I thought you were my girl.
I can see you better from here. Barry rides, flyboy, and cap. My, what a famous man. And all the headlines.
Sure, the racing phone. 2 old fashions and a ginger ale.
One of these days.
I know, one of these days.
You're really gonna win on Flyboy tomorrow, huh?
Well, it's a cinch. Unless you get too cute with that daddy's choice.
Are you kidding? The way she quits in the stretch. If I can save second money, that trainer will be the happiest man alive.
Well, Flyboy's got to win for a lot of reasons.
Sam, you said afterwards.
So I changed my mind. She's got a right to know.
Well, maybe, but...
A right to know what? What is this?
Take it easy, kid. Take it easy, I'll tell you. Tomorrow's my last race. As of tomorrow night, I'm ex-jockey Sam Barry.
What? You must be kidding. You can't quit now, not when you're right on top.
I'm not on top. I'm just a little over the hill. I'm in the bushes because I just couldn't get mounts in the big time.
Well, that's no reason to quit.
It's just too tough, that's all. Too tough making weight. Too tough getting out of the sack before daylight. Too tough coming out of the gate. And too tough going for that little opening on the rail.
Just can't believe it. Not gonna be the same without you.
Well, I'll come around to see you every once in a while, see how you ride, see that you do everything I taught you and do it right. Or else I'll call you dirty names like the rest of them.
Well, you taught me a lot, Sam. And I'll remember it.
Well, just wanted to be sure that there'd be a boy who still knew his way around the track after I quit.
Well, what are you gonna do?
There's a little place in Jersey. Bar and grill joint, a restaurant. Real nice. Figure with my name on the door to draw.
Sounds like you need a lot of money.
20,000. Well, I got 10 saved up. I figure Flyboy will be about 2 to 1. 2s for my 10 will get me 30. That's enough to buy the joint and live on while the place gets started.
Yeah, if you bet at all.
I already did. That nag of yours is the only one who could give me any trouble, but like you said, she'll quit in the stretch.
So that's the big secret, huh? How come you knew first?
Well, there's one other thing, one other reason, really, why I'm quitting. I'm, getting married.
Oh, yeah? Oh, I think that's great. No, really great. I was worried about you being lonely away from the track. But with 2 of you. Well, who's the girl? Do I know her?
Yeah, you know her.
Well, what's the matter? Come on, who is she?
Me.
Sorry, kid, really sorry. We didn't mean for it to happen. Look, I've gone over this thing in my mind a dozen times, how to tell you.
It just wouldn't have worked, Ronnie. Honestly, it wouldn't have.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up!
Well, you don't have to get so upset.
I'm not upset. These things happen all the time. A guy's got a girl.
And a guy's got a friend.
I am your friend, Ronnie, believe me.
Sure you are. Only you're my rich, successful friend who won't have to ride horses for a living anymore because you're going to own a nice big saloon. And that'll suit you just fine, won't it?
Ronnie.
Lying awake all night hadn't cooled me off one bit. I kept hearing Rita saying it wouldn't work with us. It would have worked fine if I'd had some of Sam's money. Sam Barry, favored to win on Flyboy. Sam, my friend. My good friend.
Well, 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 so Ronnie had his girl stolen by his best friend. Guess he never saw it coming. Matter of fact, I'd say it was no contest. Sam won with flying colors.
Shut up, shut up, shut up!
Oh, come on, Ronnie. Don't be upset.
I'm not upset.
Oh, Ronnie, don't be so sensitive. I'm just horsing around.
Sure you are.
Well, fine then. You just sit and sulk. In the meantime, we'll be back with more Dr. Gangrene Presents after these messages.
And that'll suit you just fine, won't it?
What was the first horse racing film ever made? Answer after these messages. Now hold on just 1 minute. It's almost 100 degrees out here and you're a 3,000-year-old mummy. Here, put this on. Sunlight is a contributing factor to melanoma, one of the most deadly forms of skin cancer. So before you go out in the sunlight, be sure and put on sunscreen of SPF 15 or greater. Now go get her, Ace. So unless you want to look like that guy, put on that sunscreen and go green with Dr. Gangrene. What was the first horse racing film ever made? Answer, The Derby, silent film from 1895. Welcome back to Dr. Gangrene Presents. In the last break, we met horse jockey Ronnie Watson, who was betrayed by his best friend and fellow jockey, Sam Barry. Seems Sam is competing for more than just horse racing. Sam just stole Ronnie's girl as well. Got a good old-fashioned Bermuda love triangle developing. Now off to the races.
At the start, I got the jump on the rest of the field and began to take a good lead after the first quarter. I was out there winging, but we had a long way to go. It was a dry, dusty day. Behind me, there was a cloud of dust. I knew that somewhere in it was Sam Barry waiting to make his move. Feel the horse starting to shorten stride. I went to the whip at the top of the stretch, but he bore out. I could hear something coming on the inside. I didn't have to look to know it was Sam Barry on Flyboy. And then I saw him begin to make his move on the inside. I still had a strong lead, but Sam on Flyboy was coming at me fast. 100 yards out, and I knew he had me. He yelled something at me. I didn't hear what he yelled. All I heard was him telling me how Rita and he hadn't meant to fall in love. What I did was wrong, I know it. But it was dusty and they didn't take movies of races in those days, and seeing him going by me, I just had to do it somehow. I never even thought of doing it. I just did it. Grabbed his saddle cloth, threw his horse off stride. It worked perfectly, and Sam ate my dust as we went across the finish line.
Now, come. You must have seen what happened. Everybody else out there did.
Live it out. We've had fouls claimed before. Barry, take off that hat. Barry here says that Watson pulled his saddlecloth in the stretch run.
He was clawing at me all the way.
You just keep quiet, boy. Watson said he did no such thing. Now, from the 16th pole on, we couldn't see a thing because of the dust. We really don't know what happened. All we know is that one of these boys isn't being exactly candid with us.
He's the liar, I tell you. He'd like to pull my tap clean off.
Saying don't make it so, Sam. But I see it this way. Both these boys have got clean records, but Barry's been around a lot longer. I'd be inclined to take his word for it.
Against mine with no proof?
This isn't exactly a court of law, boy. And something did cause that horse to break stride. I'd vote to take the winner down and put Flyboy first. After all, what reason would Barry have to lie to us?
You ask him how much money he's got bet on the race. He's got plenty of reasons. He's got $10,000 worth of reasons.
How about that, Barry?
That's my business.
That's right. You don't have to tell us. We don't have to change those numbers around either.
All right, I made a bet, a big one. I made the mistake of telling this louse about it, and he figured that gave him the right to foul me. Because nobody would believe me. You're not going to let him get away with it.
Objection is not allowed. Winner stands as is.
No! No, no! You dirty double-crosser. You liar scum!
I hope you and Rita have a nice honeymoon, Sam.
You're just right, kid. Just you wait. Someday it'll happen to you. Someday you'll be telling the truth, and they won't believe you. They won't believe you.
I went to the top, all right. After 10 years, I was right up there, including the penthouse.
Thanks, Mr. Watson.
Ronnie, you were great. I tell you, kid, you were absolutely sensational.
Yeah, thanks a lot. You fellas don't mind if I open the windows now, do you? Look, will you be kind of careful when you take the cameras out? You know, this nice furniture here costs a lot of money. Thanks a lot. Walt, do me a favor, will you? If you get a chance, don't get me another one of these things, huh?
What's the matter with you, kid? Are you nuts? You know the kind of people he usually interviews? Movie stars, big-shot politicians, scientists. You know what a break this is for a jockey?
Look at my hands, Walt. They weren't this bad the first day I won the Derby.
Well, I must admit, I was a little shaky myself.
Mean what I said about retiring, huh?
Well, you might have told me first before telling 20 million strangers. After all, I am your agent.
Well, I talked to you about it before.
Yeah, but this time you sounded serious.
I am serious.
Yeah, but why, kid? You're at the top of the heap. What, the whole thing is just, well, it's simply crazy.
Walt, you remember a fella named Sam Barry?
Sam Barry, sure. He was a pretty good boy.
He was the best. You want a blast?
Yeah, I'll have a blast. Make it bourbon. And you stick with the ginger ale.
I know. Anyway, Sam talked to me once about getting out in time.
Yeah? Well, he should have taken his own advice. I just read somewhere a short time ago he was riding jumpers down at some crummy track in South America. Imagine an old man like that, probably working for $10 a race and a place to sleep.
Well, something happened to change Sam's plans. Nothing's gonna change mine.
Ronnie, would you mind telling me why?
I'm tired. It's that simple. I want to take it easy. I want to sleep late. I'd like to drink what you drink, only I can't do it and make weight.
Okay, kid. Anything you say. I can't make a man keep on riding when he wants to quit. The only thing is, can you afford to quit?
I've just about got it made.
Not on the fees, you haven't.
Well, no, but I've been betting a little bit now and then over the past
Now,
year.
listen, kid, I
Relax,
have told
will you? What are you, my conscience or something? Anyhow, I didn't pull any horses. I just bet on what I thought was surefire winners. Horses I was riding. Ones like Miss Sunshine tomorrow.
Miss Sunshine. Oh, that's a little filly out in California I told you about, and you said no.
That's right. And when I did, the odds lengthened out. So today, some clown out in Chicago that makes a house line hung out 4-1. And another clown took the odds. Me.
Suppose they've got another boy signed to ride her.
I checked. They haven't.
Look, Ronnie, it's 11 o'clock now. You mean to say that you're going to be riding tomorrow afternoon in California?
It's only 8 o'clock in California, Walt. Now, there's a sleeper plane out of here in an hour and a half. He can be 5 hours late, and I still make the race. Oh, by the way, what's the name of the fellow I'm riding for?
Bear. Tex Bear. Look, Ronnie, I wish you wouldn't do this, kid. It's just crazy.
Will you wire Tex Bear in care of the stables at Capistrano Park, and you tell him I'm on my way? And, Walt, don't worry about it, will you? Remember, we're living in an age of speed.
Living in an age of speed indeed, but not one without bills, which is why we'll speed right back after these commercials. Hey, deadhead, don't you know that highway litter is bad for the people of Tennessee, costing taxpayers thousands of dollars each year?
Keeping our waste managed helps keep our streets safe and clean for our drivers everywhere.
Dr. Gangrene is keeping Tennessee clean.
Go green with Dr. Gangrene.
We're headed off to the final stretch now, the finale of tonight's tale. Looks like old Ronnie has it made, eh? Step right up, ladies and gentlemen, and place your bets. I'll lay 2-to-1 odds that Ronnie has a run-in with the supernatural before everything's said and done. What's that? No takers? You guys know my show all too well. Now off to the races.
I was getting ready for the post-parade when I saw Sam. Sam Barry. I couldn't believe it at first. He was too old. But why not? I remembered hearing of jocks in Europe who'd ridden in their 60s and won. It was Sam, all right. Sitting straight up in the saddle the way he always did in the post-parade. Sam Barry, riding a little black horse with 4 white feet. I wanted to talk to him, but I figured time enough after the race. Then the race was on, and there wasn't time to think of anything else. It went just the way the trainer and I planned. I kept my horse in contention. Along the backstretch, the front runner started coming back to me. I had plenty of horse under me as we turned for home. I knew I was going to win it. One horse came up fast. Somehow it didn't come as a surprise that it was the one with the white feet. Sam Barry's horse. Then it happened. He drifted out. I had to pull him up. By the time I got him back to running, it was too late. I finished 4th, 5th maybe. I don't remember. I told them what had happened. They just looked at me. When I finished...
I know why he cut me off, but that's not the important thing. I had to pull up or we would have been killed.
Gentlemen, please. Watson, I want to make sure we all understand each other. In the stretch, a dark horse with white feet drifted out. And when you tried to go inside, his jockey turned the horse in front of you, causing you to pull up.
I know it cost me the race, but I had to. We both would have been killed.
Yes, I think you've made that point clear. Just the stretch run, Charlie. This is the race you just rode, Watson. You see yourself there on Miss Sunshine taking the lead at the top of the stretch. There wasn't any other horse in front of you.
Something's wrong.
Now there, see? You drift out a little.
I had to. There must be some mistake.
That's enough. All right, Watson, let's stop kidding ourselves. We've all had our little joke. There wasn't any horse with 4 white feet in this race. You pulled that horse up for some reason of your own.
No, I had to, don't you see? Sam did it. He must have done it. It's funny, he said no one would believe me.
Sam?
The other jockey was Sam Barry.
Sam Barry? Have you lost your mind?
I'd know him, wouldn't I? He used to be my best friend.
Watson, what's the matter with you? There was an item about him in today's form. He came a long way to cut you off in today's race.
What do you mean?
Sam Barry was killed in the steeplechase in Uruguay yesterday on a horse called Patas Blancas. White feet.
No. No!
Yes, Ronnie, it's true. You were cut off in that race by a ghost rider from beyond the grave. Well, it's time for me now to make tracks and ride off into the sunset. So remember, beware who you cross, for sometimes not even death can prevent vengeance from being enacted. Good night, sleep tight, don't let the Betty bugs bite, and watch out for those ghost riders. Stay mad. Summertime's here and everyone likes to get outside and enjoy the outdoors. But to keep the environment a safe, clean place, we need everyone's help. Cigarette litter is a fire hazard, environmental danger, and litter nuisance. Filters on a cigarette take years to decompose and can threaten aquatic life and water supplies. Take a second to properly dispose of cigarette butts in an ashtray or approved receptacle. Remember, considerate smokers don't litter. Don't be a bonehead. Dispose of those butts properly. And remember to go green with DrGangrene.
Now a short intermission, so you'll have time to make your selection before the show begins.
This is Creature Feature, exploring the realm of the unknown. And now, from deep within the catacombs beneath our studio, here is your master of ceremonies, Sir Cecil Creep.
Did someone call?
Hello, my name is Larry Underwood. I hosted late-night horror movies in Nashville, Tennessee for 13 years as DrGangrene. That's what this get-up was about. This was my costume, my uniform. The closest thing I tell people when they ask what a horror host is, I say, think Elvira. She came on late night and hosted horror movies. Nashville actually has a rich tradition of horror hosts going all the way back to the 1950s. Nashville's very first horror host was a guy named Ken Bramming, who hosted on Channel 2 in Nashville as Dr. Lucifer. His TV show was filmed live because this was before the days of videotape. So the only surviving bits of Dr. Lucifer's show are the opening and closing credits. Now those were actually shot on film, so they still exist today.
I'm about to create a disguise to wear as I go knocking on doors tonight. I hope to disguise my natural charm sufficiently so that I will be a frightening figure as I go about trick or treating. Here are a few masks I have selected. Goodbye, you handsome devil. See you after the party. That's no good. It will cover up my beauty mark. I'll try something else. Boo? Boo? No, I'm afraid that's what.
After Dr. Lucifer, the next horror host was Sir Cecil Creep, who you see in this picture here behind me. His show came on Channel 4, WSM TV, as it was called then. It later became WSMV, Channel 4 that we know now. But WSM TV, his show came on Saturday nights at 10:30 at night. It ran from 1970 to 1973, and it was wildly popular. Both of these shows were hugely popular. Sir Cecil Creep's show ran for 3 years. He would make personal appearances and would draw huge crowds. I have photos of him doing appearances at local malls and just being mobbed by children. His show actually ended because of Saturday Night Live. Once Saturday Night Live came about, nobody could go up against that. I mean, it was, that was it. So that actually canceled his show. He came on in the 1980s, about a decade later, on the Nashville network, and he had a show called The Phantom of the Opry. His original show was called Creature Feature, hosted by Sir Cecil Creep. His new show was called The Phantom of the Opry, but again, he was Sir Cecil Creep. It ran for 1 season, and he hosted public domain movies. The Creature Feature show was a little bit higher quality of movies than the Nashville network shows. So that's it. Sir Cecil Creep, Dr. Lucifer, and myself, Dr. Gangrene, Nashville horror hosts.
I hope you don't find this overly exciting. How do you like my disguise? I hope no one dies from fright. Now, until next week, good night, sleep tight, and don't let the beddy bugs bite. A tisket, a tasket, I lost my yellow casket.
Hold it right there. Don't you know that wherever litter starts, it moves? From parks to streets, from highways to waterways, wind and weather move trash around the community, spreading disease and creating hazards for animals and wildlife. Always clean up your own mess and dispose of trash in a proper receptacle. You pack it, you sack it. And remember to go green with Dr. Gangrene.